What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Y'all know what it is, like I gotta tell you, right? Anyway, the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, we're gonna have a good show today. I want to say this before I even brought Gina on. Matter of fact, let me bring Gina on right quick. What's up, Gina? Gina just
Let me say that again. You better bring me on.
got you, man. I got
And
you.
I said it with bass in my voice.
So look, you guys always tell me, Greg, push away from some of this stuff, okay? Stop, because you're gonna get sick.
Oh, no.
Hella sick.
Leave my sister alone. I'm sick too, though.
I know. I told her you were sick, but we all got to take care of ourselves, all right? But I was saying that, I wasn't saying it in jest or be mean. I was just saying they tell me all the time, and this and that, and I'm telling you, literally, I was at death's door a couple of weeks ago. But reality checks in. You got to do what you got to do in order to make sure you can do some more things. Like our guest tonight, he's been on here. One of our favorite guests, actually. He's been on here.
Familiar face.
Yes. He wrote a book, and at the time the book wasn't out, okay? But we wanted to talk about it, and it was a great conversation. Dads, kiss your sons, all right? The book is out now.
Yay!
And I'm telling you, everybody, y'all got to go look. What's up, Mo?
What's going on, people?
Everything's good.
Hey, Momo.
Reading through the book, I had to read and then reread some. I haven't read the entire book yet, okay? But this book is, if it doesn't serve to do anything else, it'll inspire you to be a better person, period. All right. It will inspire you to number one, just understand who you are, love the person that you are, and give back to others. Give to others, pour into other people. Okay. Before we get on, man, I want to say happy birthday to this old girl.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, she's pretty old, man. But happy birthday, Chaka Khan. She turned 70 today.
Man, you remember when she came out?
Yeah, I know, right? Sweet thing. Matter of
She
fact,
is a legend.
matter of fact,
when she first came out.
this girl right here got my tape with her.
Oh, no.
But
Denise Bohannon, I want my tape back. I'll get that out, okay? But yeah, happy birthday, Chaka Khan. We all know Chaka Khan having a drink today.
all right, at least one.
At least one. Chaka Khan drinks, okay? She get on stage like,
Yeah, I remember one time she fell off stage
Ooh.
drinking. She was drunk. She was toasted.
It's probably a given that Chaka would never come on the show, okay, after that. But it's okay. I still got you. I want your music. I love your music. I think you're
But
fantastic.
you don't have that tape.
Huh? Yeah, you know why I don't have to tape, right?
Because Bonita Bohannon has it.
I'll make you another one, Greg.
Huh?
I'll make you a better one.
You're gonna make me a tape?
Tape, boy, it don't matter.
I need the player too.
No, whatever media you want. I'll make you one with Chaka Khan.
Chaka who?
Chaka.
Chaka
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, man, we got a great show today. I got my buddy, my friend, friend of the show, friend of the family, friend of everybody. Okay, has this book. It's called Dads. Dads, kiss your son. All
Kiss
right,
your sons.
kiss your
Yeah.
son.
That book has a meaning to it.
Yeah.
Meaning to it. Okay, and the only person that can explain that meaning is our friend, Mr. Mark Craven. What's going on, Mark?
Mark,
Hello.
welcome back. Welcome back.
He's
How are you guys?
What's
Good to
going
see
on,
you.
man?
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
almost.
Again.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
When we say
It's a
we
Really
gonna,
pleasure.
when we invite you to come back, we want you to come back. You know, we tell you,
Thank you.
hey, come back, use us. We want to be used. Most
So you know you have to check them people behind you last time.
we're good.
Well, I hope you guys are. I'm with you though. I'm sipping my tea. I'm also not feeling too good, so we're all in good
Working
company
hard.
together tonight.
I got
The book is out, Mark. The book is out, man.
So tomorrow, it actually comes out tomorrow. So tonight at
Okay.
midnight.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
It'll be
show the hard copy, man.
it'll be live. There it is.
There it is, y'all.
all
There it
right.
is.
Nice.
The real deal.
It's a real book. How did it feel when it came?
It's good. I mean, so we got the paperback and got the hardcover also.
Oh,
So we
Nice.
got,
Get the Cadillac and the
went
Buick.
big.
It looks
Yeah,
good
exactly.
too.
He ain't
But,
playing.
yeah, I mean, it feels good. You know, you put so much work and so much time in,
Mhm.
and I mean, this isn't my first book, but this is the first book that I've put so much into. You know, because I believe so much in the message of it, and I just wanted it to be as just polished and as perfect as I could. So a
Mhm.
lot of crowdfunding, a lot of begging and pleading, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but ultimately. Here we go. We got it. We're there.
So
Yeah,
We got the
you're
book.
there. You made it.
yeah.
We made it.
Now,
So yeah.
a lot of people put, you know, they put books out, man, but you really, really went personal with this. You went really personal with this. Did you have any reservations when you wrote this that maybe I'm exposing too much of myself?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, not really, because I've been a musician also my whole life, and as a lyricist, I would always write really openly, and it didn't really. I do recognize that it's a lot of really personal stuff, but I think that I think the only way that we really affect people is if we're vulnerable,
Right.
and as if that's when people realize we're human, because it's like. Even when I taught math at the college, I would come in and the first thing I would say to the students was, I took this exact same class that you're in, and, I failed math in college. I failed math in high school. So I had to practice my butt off to get to where I'm at. So I'm human. You're human. Let's just struggle through this and figure it out together. So,
Yeah.
and that would just take down the anxiety,
Yeah.
with my students in class, because you say the word fractions and blood pressure starts going up. So
Yeah.
once I'd say like, hey, I failed this stuff and I wasn't, I'm not this math wizard. So
Levels
it's the same,
everything out.
it's the same thing here. You put a book out, people are like, oh, you wrote a book, but it's like, I mean, yeah, but you can too. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. So here's all my humanness laid out for the world to see.
That's the thing,
So-
though. People are going to start, especially once the sales start going through the roof. They're going to have you doing book signings and all of that. Gina knows you well.
Yep.
All right. They're going to start looking at you different, Mark.
Sure.
Oh yeah, they'll be asking you to come speak on their show.
Well, Dope Living always has the first dibs on Mark Craven.
We don't have to ask, man.
You don't even have. I ask you guys.
He tells us,
Oh,
he doesn't ask. He say, Greg, I need to come on the show. He tells we got this. Okay, Moby, you had a question.
Yeah. How'd your family feel about the book, bro?
As far as reading
Content, and
Yeah, writing it, putting
Sure.
put some
So
personal
just-
stuff out
you
there.
have personal touches in it.
Yeah. So just, crazy support. I'm not. I explained it in the book, but I think what a lot of you guys are probably referring to is my mom. And the issues that I have with my mom. Her and I really aren't close. I didn't write this stuff to bash her and to, I didn't write it to make her look bad. I didn't name her in it, and I'll never say her name in public either. But it was just, that was the story of the time. That's what I went through. That's what we were, what we were dealing with at the time. And it's unfortunate that it went that way, but it did. And, it's just part of the story. So, I kind of explain that book, I explain that in the book. I say, the reason I have to look back on this with forgiveness is for these reasons. Like, this happened. So,
Changing the narrative.
yeah. So her and I we really don't have a connection. We're really not, that close. I let her, see Kai if she wants to. If she wants to come to Pittsburgh and see him, she's more than welcome. But her and I don't have a really close relationship. As far as the rest of my family, everybody else who, had a chance to read it, just a lot of tears, a lot of love, a lot of support. I wrote about my aunt in the second chapter, or is it it's the third chapter actually. And the chapter is called "The Best Person I've Ever Known." So that was about my great aunt that passed away almost 20 years ago now from cancer. But I mean, all the nightmares that I kind of had to deal with when I was with her was the opposite. So
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, writing about her, my family really, it was kind of cool because when I sent out this early, like the first 3 chapters for free to everybody on my mailing list and whoever wanted to sign up. So actually you could still do that. So if you join the newsletter, you get the first 3 chapters immediately, but they wanted to like read it together. So we were all like together and read it. And it was just really emotional, you know what I mean? Because she was just such a wonderful woman, and touched so many of our hearts and our lives. Like everybody was just like in tears, reading that.
I mean, the book is somewhat of I hope it's cleansing for you, but it is a tearjerker. I was reading this part right here because I don't want to give everybody everything in the book. Okay, so I'm going to read this portion right here, this excerpt right here. I met my dad when I was 22. Name is also Mark. What a coincidence. He turned out to be a great guy and offered me a chance to move in with him and fund my college education should I choose to go. At that point in my life, the band was kind of hitting the wall where some of us wanted to take things to the next level and others wanted to stay where they were. One thing about being in a band is if everyone isn't on the same page regarding taking chances and running after the same dreams, one person can't do it alone. Hell, 2 people can. If there are 5 people in your band, you need 5 people to want the same thing just as bad in concert with one another, pun intended. You got a lot of little gems like that, as you're telling your story, it makes people pause and say, okay, you know what? I understand how he's metaphorically getting that. He's right though. If you got people that are in the same thing that you're doing, you need all of them in order to make this succeed.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, that it's funny how like the universe works too. You kind of make a decision on something and you start seeing doors open that you didn't think would open. I mean, it's God to me. You call it the universe, you call it energy, a higher level, higher purpose, whatever. But yeah, like once you start, you get all these signs, when I was singing in the band, that was my whole identity. Everything was wrapped up in that. I was, trying to push that. That was my thing. That was what I loved to do. And then, we got to the point where we were supposed to go to New York to do our full length album. Cause I connected with a producer up there, like a real live producer. This was like the next step, like this was it. Like I connected with a producer. He owned his own studio and he was connected with, producers at MTV. So all his music that he produced was on all these MTV shows at the time, like The Hills and all this stuff, back in like 2008. So it was exciting because he was real excited to work with us. And, we were going to go to New York City. We're going to do the full length album. That's funny. You guys were talking about Chaka Khan at the beginning. Now we're talking music. But, so yeah, that was it. That was the next step. So we were going to go there, record the full length. He wanted to do a record release party in New York City. Then he was going to connect us with a booking agent to do a tour. And it was going to cost us $8,000. And just some of my guys just ended up not wanting to take the chance. At the time, I mean, we're all broke as hell. You know what I mean? Like way broke. So $8,000. I mean, that, to be honest, that might as well have been. There might as well have been $1 million. Yeah, like it was a lot, but still, we could have made it happen. We could have made it work. But we just kind of said, well, let's just do the full length in Pittsburgh, blah blah blah, and then it just kind of never happened, But we ended up playing our last show. It was 2010, so I had gone back. I met my dad, and I tried out school because the band was kind of, like I said, we were in this weird place. So I went back to school, and I was in love with school. Like I found all these new passions and new dreams inside of me that I didn't know I had. So I fell in love with learning, and I fell in love with school. So we played our last show with a pretty big band. They were called Scary Kids Scaring Kids, and they were huge. They were on like Immortal Records. They were touring the world. They were everywhere. They were where we wanted to be, and it was their farewell tour. So I met their keyboard player, and I was talking to him, and I said, what's the deal, man? Like, you guys are where we want to be. Like, why are you calling it quits? Because I was having a lot of reservations myself. It was our last show, and I'm like, who am I if I'm not, the lead singer of this band? And I really love school now, but what's the deal? So I met him, and he was like, "Oh, I want to go back to school." I was like, "Oh."
Wow.
So that was like such confirmation. I was like, "Damn!" Like this. I mean, like I said, they're here, and we're like, well, probably even more.
And he was disenchanted, right?
And he's saying like, "I'm going back to school." I was like, "All right."
I remember here in Nashville, I managed a handful of bands, and I used to say a band is like a hand. Everybody's got to know what their function is, and everybody's got to doing what they're supposed to do. If they're not together, this hand can't work. Right. And that's the way I put it.
Yeah. It's an organism. Every piece has its part to play.
That's right.
And you know what? You know what, though, Mark? It's amazing because, like I said, as I read portions of the book, I'm like, to see you now and to see what you went through. This dude right here, I don't see how he's even sitting up here like that. Okay, but let me read another piece of this. Okay, I'm going to skip the part where you spoke about your mom and the terrible relationship you have with your mom, but this part here kind of touched me as well because of the home I grew up in until I was 15, which was when my mom moved to California, and I stayed in Pittsburgh, moving in with my aunt Dope, the best person I've ever known, as you alluded to earlier. I've been overly aware of the importance of mental health, talking about it, advocating for it, and seeking help for my own. I took a lot of insecurities, anxiety, and depression into my adult life that began when I was a little kid. Now think about it, guys, a little kid being depressed and just holding on to it and carrying it as an adult. A result of my mom telling me we were doing something fun the next day, only to not deliver on the promise, and doing this over and over and over and over and over. And because it happened so often, being let down became commonplace. So you basically expected one more line. I assumed that no matter what, I would always be let down. Trust wasn't even an option because this persistent letdown was consistent inevitability. So, I mean, man, that's rough. That's got to be rough. How can you live a life knowing that, okay, you got this great idea, you want to move forward, but I'm gonna be let down anyway, so I'm gonna do it haphazardly. That's got to be hard.
Yeah, absolutely. My earliest memory was seeing my mom cut her wrist with a steak knife, and I mean, she didn't kill herself, but she was in a screaming match with my grandmother, grabbed the knife, started screaming, "Is this what you want?" Blah, blah, blah. And so that was like my first memory. And then from there, it was, so that's why I talk about mental health, and I think it's so important, especially, and then, there was just all these empty promises, to the point when I was in second grade, I was 7, and I made a vow. I remember making a vow to myself to never get my hopes up because I was always let down, because it was like, oh, tomorrow, and it's trivial stuff like, oh, we're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese. It's like, oh, you spoiled little brat. Like, you can't go to Chuck E. Cheese every day. But it wasn't that. It was just the promise of doing something all the time. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we just wouldn't do it. Yeah. It just buried all these insecurities in me. So, and then I take it into adulthood. And it would really come around, especially when I'd be in a relationship with somebody. And definitely when you have an idea and you have a dream, you're like, I want to push this thing out and do it, and you have so much self-doubt. I mean, we have self-doubt anyway, right? Just all of our lives are, we all have a story, but I mean, it was hard to You know, like what makes you think you can get on stage and sing? What makes you think you can, you know, write this stuff and affect people's lives?
Yeah.
But I mean, you really just do it anyway. You know, no matter how you feel. I have something in the book, and I refer to it as action over emotion. So you always choose action over emotion. And I have like this little graphic, like, yeah, put like an A over an E. Just think about it that way: action over emotion, and you go and you see, you know what I mean? Like with the band stuff, I mean, yeah, I had no right standing on stage like screaming and singing, and like I sang in a metal band, so you know I was doing all this like crazy screaming. You know, I had no right to be up there like getting people pumped and excited. I mean, my life sucked, and I was just, you know, I didn't believe in myself at all, and I'm getting people fired up, and they're, you know, like they're seeing their dreams through the stuff I'm doing. Yeah, you know, it's just incredible. But yeah, you just do it like, and then you work through it. I mean, it's not just, oh, just push through it, you're all right. But, you know, you show yourself that you can take action in spite of yourself and in spite of the things that you're dealing with. You know?
See, I like how you tell the story and you give basically advice. If you read this correctly, there's advice in there. There's lessons in there. Jenny, you got a question?
How is your son, Mark? Does he understand his dad is an author?
I don't think, no, not yet. He's 2.5. I mean, he's on the cover, obviously. This is just us hanging out at the park to him. You know what I mean? Like he's just he's just my little dude. I mean,
wait till them checks
no matter what's that.
I said, wait till them checks roll in.
Yeah, right.
Take the Chuck E. Cheese in the park.
Right, yeah, we'll go to Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah, you know, he's just my little bestie. You know, he's just my best friend. So,
what do you want people to get out of the book?
So I titled the book "Dads Kiss Your Sons," because I think that's one of the big. There's a few big themes in the book. One of the big themes is for men to kiss their kids. You know, your son, not just your sons, your daughters, obviously too.
Yeah.
I just have a son, so that's why it's titled that. But you know, just to break down that stuff, you know, to break down just this weird societal parameterization of what we're supposed to be as men. You know, what we're supposed to be into. You know, I don't like sports at all. I don't look like somebody that doesn't like sports. I look like somebody that should know everything about sports, and I don't. I don't know anything about sports.
Don't feel bad, bro.
You know, that's got to be okay. You know, like
it's okay with me.
Be okay. Yeah, you know, like I like musicals. You know, like I like things that I shouldn't like, and I don't like things that I do like, according to, you know, society. And then the other thing in the book too is I think one of the biggest messages, aside from working on yourself, that's a big underlying thing, because if we're not working on ourselves and doing everything we can to make ourselves as full and as loving as we can be by living a life that's fulfilling and loving, then we can't bring anything other than that to somebody that we love. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not living a life fulfilled, I can't bring a fulfilled me to my relationship with my son or anybody that I care about. So that's an underlying theme. And then the other big theme is for men to stick around, because I think it's so scary. I was terrified out of my mind, totally scared to death to be a dad, because I mean, look at my history. I didn't see it. I didn't have a dad until I was 22. And then I found out he wasn't my real dad, which we talked about before. And then, you know, my mom, it was just a nightmare, you know, and I never saw a healthy home life in my personal experience. So, you know, there were 2 weeks where I was so completely afraid and out of my mind. But if you just sit through that, you get to the other side of it, there's just this crazy magic waiting for you, which is called fatherhood. And, you know, that's one of the big things I want new and expectant dads to realize. Like, you're having some terrible thoughts that you feel like you're the only one having, but you're not. It's totally normal. If you could just sit through that long enough to hold that little one, it's going to blow your damn mind. Your heart's going to explode.
You know, I get this vision of your life being evil over here, good over here, and there's a tug of war, but good won.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's you also go. I mean, I think maybe I have to work through this too. Is like the whole like you got to be tough, and I mean, I went through some stuff, so I had to like survive. You know, so in my mind, I don't like to think that I'm whining about something, or that I'm crying about something, or that I'm not strong enough to face something or deal with something. You know, so when my wife, she posted on Reddit, like she's real big into Reddit. So there's this section called AMA, like Ask Me Anything. And she told my story a little bit and then it blew up. So people, you know, she was like, you actually got to get on here and like respond because people are like really in depth asking you questions. It had like over like 1,200 upvotes. I don't know how to Reddit. She's teaching me. But, you know, one of the things people asked me, they were like, are you okay? I was just like, and I got that question like a few times, just like, bro, are you okay? And I was just like, damn, like, I guess I haven't thought about it. I mean, I walked through a lot of trauma, you know, and you got to be comfortable to talk about that. You got to be like, listen, it sucked. Like, I would not want to deal with that. I wish my life was different. I didn't like that. I don't think anybody would. It wasn't fun. It wasn't as bad as what other people have gone through. But trauma is trauma. Your heart breaks. Your pain is valid. It doesn't matter if it was worse than this person's or better than that person's. It's valid. So my trauma is valid. What I went through is valid, and it sucked and it hurts. And some days, like, I'm not okay. You know, there's some days where I'm way angrier than I should be, or I'm depressed. You know, I don't really get the depression as much. It is really controlled a lot with medication. I take citalopram every day, 40 milligrams. My favorite SSRI. And I do counseling, and I go to the gym, and I read. I do all the, I do a lot of tools. I practice gratitude, prayer, meditation, a lot of things to combat it. But still, yeah, I mean, when you've been kicked in the fucking face, like, it doesn't feel good, and sometimes you remember how bad it hurt. So
that's crazy. We used to talk about emotional damage that folks do just from the mouth, and that repair is actually harder than the physical. And so let me ask you this question. So, you show your son the book and he sees this picture on there, and did you explain what the word said? How did he take when you explained what it said? You said,
well, like I said, I mean, he's still like so little that, and I just kiss him nonstop. So he just sees the picture, and it's kind of funny. There's like I have a random video of him like holding a picture of me. So when he sees like a picture of me, he gets all like excited, or himself. He's very vain. He's like me. So when he sees us together in pictures, he just, he lights up. So, and then I just kiss him nonstop. So he's,
Mark, I'm gonna tell you, man, and Maurice, sinking, bro.
My chair might be sinking.
Okay. Hold on. But
oh no, it went down further.
Mark, let me tell you this. I feel you on all of that. And they know, man, how much I love my son. If you talk about him too much, I'm gonna cry. Okay, they know, all right. But there's an excerpt in your book where you explain dads kiss your sons. All right, and you said, what does that mean? It means exactly what it says. Show love and affection to your son. Let him know that love is more than a word, and that it can absolutely be felt, and that it should absolutely be felt. Now, you say kiss your daughters too, but the point of kissing your son seems to be one that's lost to our overly masculine societal way of thinking about what it means to be a man. And then you say you kiss your son relentlessly since the day he was born. I'm gonna tell you, man, my son is 28, right? 28. He played football in high school and college. Okay. A lot of people used to, I did a television show for a while, so I was able to take the time to raise my son. I would run him around, the shopping malls and let him run up and down. And, the people in the shopping malls knew him, they said, where's Jordan at? Where's Jordan at? But my thing with that is that I kiss my son every day. All right. And to this day, 8 years old, get a kiss on the cheek every day. Right before the show came on, I mean, when the credits were rolling, my son called me and told me, "Hey, Dad, I love you. Have a good show." I mean, that's the affirmation that, regardless of all of the mess that you've been through, regardless of the things that you've done in your life, if you can get that affirmation, you can feel that love, like you said. You did something right.
Oh yeah.
I man, look, I feel you, bro.
Man, and that is so removed from our our sons' lives, especially in the African American community.
Oh no.
You don't feel like, if that you're gonna make them soft.
No, I remember my dad. I mean, my dad was a big hugger. I mean, he hugged, and I knew he told me, he always used to tell me he loved me. Period. I mean, up until the last time I talked to him before he passed.
But Mo, do you know how many sons don't get that?
I didn't understand that until I got a lot older. How many people that they weren't that tight with it. They see me with my dad, and I'm hanging with my dad, and we're talking, and he's joking with me, and I give him a big hug, he gives me a big hug, and they didn't understand that. That's your daddy? Yeah, that's my dad.
But see, here's the thing with that, and I feel you on that too, Moby.
Mm-hmm.
This book, Dads Kiss Your Sons, you're giving an example. You're giving an example. Just a second. You're giving me an example. Giving us an example of how to parent, how to love our sons, and you're telling people, regardless of what you've been through, this is the way that you get peace, by making sure that your offspring, your son, is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something really beautiful there, and you touched on something that is in the book. It's something called physiological synchrony, and there's actually healing for you that's waiting you're loving your son, because what happens is there's actually a mirroring of biochemical reactions that's happening in your son because you're holding him, you're kissing him, and you're loving him. Those same neurochemicals that are being released in him, serotonin, oxytocin, all of the good neurotransmitters, they're actually also being released in you, even dopamine. A lot of healing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the presence of all of those neurotransmitters, those stress neurotransmitters tend to go down.
Yeah.
So, that all brings healing. So it's really a beautiful thing, because it doesn't matter how broken your past and your foundation was, because right now you get to create a whole new foundation, one that you didn't think existed or could even exist, but it's existing because you're creating it for your son. So there's a lot of healing. You don't think about it. When I was in counseling 10 years ago, and one of the exercises my counselor suggested, she said, imagine you're in a room with little you, and, just hug him, like just go over and love him and tell him he's okay, and, stuff like that. And now fast forward 10 years later, like seeing Kai, I'm like, oh, that really is a little me.
See?
So he truly is, it's like that exercise came to life. And in doing that, in caring for him, you're caring for yourself too. So you find a lot of healing for yourself in loving your little boy. So there's it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
for your little girl.
I'm telling you, man. Wait till he gets a teenager, Mark. Then wait till he gets to be an adult, Mark. It's going and what you're doing right now, it's going to be the same. Trust me, it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's coming, Mark.
I know.
Quick.
I know.
That's so crazy. I think about mine.
I got pictures all on, man, I'm telling you, all on my phone with my son now, as I said.
Yeah.
29 years old, getting ready to be 29, okay? But, Mark, look, I'll put it up here. I got pictures.
I love it.
I got pictures.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I look at these every day, man, to see the man that he's become, even from that point right there, to see the man that he's become. I'm proud of not only him, I'm thankful and blessed to have had his mother, because even though we're not together, and I'm not gonna say I don't really like her. I'm not gonna say that.
Don't say that.
But for us not to be together, most of his life, we were not a couple, but we co-parented and got him to the point where he is, and I'm proud of myself for sticking in there, because a lot of men, as Gina said, a lot of kids don't have that.
Right.
Yeah, and to touch on that, Mo, were you about to say something? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, man.
So to touch on what you were just saying, Greg, I actually have a chapter in there called "Dads Kiss Your Baby Mamas."
Wow.
And what I really say, Aaron's like, well, you can't write that chapter because not everybody's still together, and I touch on all of that. I'm like, no, I know, but one of the things is
that's the next book.
If we can, Yeah, if we can, one of the things that hit me was I was like, Kai sees Erin, his mom, my wife, totally different than I see her, than I can ever see her. He holds this love and this adoration for her because that's his mom in his heart. To me, that was a girlfriend that became a fiance that became my wife, and of course I love her, but I love her so different than Kai loves her, but his love is like this sacred. Not that mine isn't, but it's certainly different. But his is like this this son loving his mother, and I think about the women in my life that I've loved like that, like my aunt though, and others, and what I would expect from anybody to how to treat them would only be with respect and with, love and support. That doesn't mean, you're going to be together, or you're going to have this happy relationship. But if I could just see that person through my little boy's eyes, how he loves her, then maybe I'm not going to say the thing that I really want to say right now in the middle of this heated argument. So that's been a lesson that I picked up. It's just, wow, Kai sees his mom as his mom because that's his mom. And I see her as my wife because that's my wife. And sometimes I really can't stand her and she really can't stand me. That's just the reality of it.
But you also know that through Kai, that's unconditional love. There's no There's no pretense. There's no fake.
Right.
It's
You don't know nothing about none of that right now. He just innocent.
And that is a
He
beautiful
loves.
man.
Yeah, I mean, he sees her in his heart, and I just try to remember that, when me and Aaron have a great relationship. It's like we could joke with each other, and we do a lot. But I mean, when you get into those arguments, or you get into those fights, or you want to say something, nasty, or whatever, it's like you do your best to remember, like, man, how's Kai see her? How's my little boy see her?
And and what I've been reading from actually has just been the introduction. All right. But let me read this part here. This closes out the introduction. If you don't read any further than this introduction, then let me just say this. Dads, kiss your sons. Everything else will fall into place as it should, but please kiss your little boy. Beautiful healing awaits you in this process, and the beautiful hope, security, and strength await your son. The stories that are shared in the following pages are meant to inspire hope and change in you, and a real change that will make you a better man, a better father. I believe you'll find healing. I believe you'll find hope. I believe you'll find all that you need to find. And I agree with you, man. This is an exciting opportunity for everyone, actually, not just yourself. It's an exciting opportunity for everyone to really, really, really get into a man's feelings for his child. And that it can be, father loving his son to a point of getting him to be a man, and hopefully everything that you do now for Kai, he'll do when he has kids. And that's amazing, man. I'm glad you're talking about it. I'm glad you wrote this book. And it's just it is a healing thing. And I hope everybody, make sure that you pick this book up. All right. We're not closing. I know I sound like I'm closing up. We're not, we shouldn't be ashamed or afraid to lift our babies up and kiss them. We're still a man. All right. We're still a man. That's the song. We still can go out there and say, hey, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. Okay. But when it comes to that child,
Greg, I'm tell you,
that's all the love in the world, bro.
I tell y'all, my son is 42, and his youngest is 2, and I could see him the same relationship me and him had with him. Yeah. I could see that relationship. It is real cool. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Mark.
Wow,
real cool.
I love that. That's awesome. I mean, that's because and it's a reflection of the relationship that you have with your dad that you explained.
Exactly.
Like it's reverberating. See, we always talk about generational curses.
Right.
What a beautiful generational blessing that's been in your life.
That is one, definitely.
And he has a chapter in his book called what was it? Steak knife memory. Steak knife memories. We're not gonna get into that, okay? We're gonna let that one roll. Okay.
Read the book. Go get the book.
he has
Yeah, don't tell it all.
if you did, we'll tell this part. If you did not hear Mark the first time that he was on, all right, Mark lived with this guy who he thought was his father, all right, Italian guy, this and that. Thought it was his father. Found out that he wasn't his father. His father was a WWF wrestler, all right, and he was black, okay. And we're not saying that Mark don't look black right now, okay, but
Summertime's coming, baby.
I do get black during the summer.
So do you identify as an African American, as a black person?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, so I met my dad, Mark, who's Italian, at 22, and I lived with him for 3 years, and we did a paternity test because he wanted to put me on his health insurance because I was in school, and I could have had like one more year. Sorry, I don't know what's happening, but we had one more year, but we had to do a paternity test because we have different last names. And, I talked about it before, but yeah, like almost jokingly, we were swabbing our mouths or whatever, send it in. And then it came back negative. So we failed the paternity test. And I found out my Aunt Doe's daughter, Vicky, she's pretty much like older sister / mom to me. She told me, like, look up this guy. He wrestled in the WWF in the 80s, and then we pulled up, and he's black, and I mean it was like looking in the mirror. There's no question.
He looked at his face.
It was crazy. And then fast forward 10 years later, Aaron got me an ancestry test, so I did that, and it connected me with my uncle and all these people in this family that confirmed, obviously. So, but yeah. I was 25 my whole life. I thought I was Italian, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, you're black. And
there's the shocker right there.
Wait a minute. How much difference was that culture? The difference between the two cultures.
I mean, there really wasn't like a big shift for me because I have so many friends. I have so many friends that are white, that are black, that are Asian, that are whatever.
So
I have friends in every genre of human.
So it wasn't the different cultures didn't.
Not really, but it was kind of funny because I was at community college at the time. When I was living with my dad, and like it was kind of funny because like the big group of students that were all like the popular kids. Because I was a little older. I was 22, and they were all like 18.
Oh, okay.
But I was like really welcomed, and they were all black. I was like, oh, all the black kids like me. That's cool. Like, I was like, I don't know why they're accepting me. Like,
the black kids.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they all like me. This is cool. And then it was like,
there's a reason because they probably knew you was black. They're like,
hey, Mark,
the funny part is they knew, and Mark
didn't know.
They saw more in you than you saw in yourself.
100%. I mean,
come over here, sit down, bro.
Yeah. I had so many friends over the years, like, dude, I mean, you're definitely, and I'm like, I don't know. That's not what they tell me. They tell me I'm Italian, but it was always like in the back of my head, like, I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's right. I think there's something else in there, and
people though.
Yeah. But I mean, when it happened, it wasn't, I don't know. Like I said, no, I mean, I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, what's this mean? Again, and we talked about before is my mom was racist. Did we talk about that on the show?
Yeah, we did.
Last time?
Yep.
That was actually that was a big. People were really on that on the Reddit thing. Like they were really asking about
well, it
that.
seems like it's that time in our country right now. It's like it's a hot button deal.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, what I really had to do was examine if there were any of those beliefs in me. Because I was raised again like. My mom was, I mean, she was just racist and, said a lot of just nasty things my whole life. And then my aunt, who I was also with a lot of the time, was not, she lived in the projects and everybody around us was black. All my friends there were black, There was one white girl in the neighborhood. I thought she was the only one like me. Obviously, I was wrong. So I mean, like I said, I came to it and I was just like, is there anything in me? And there wasn't. The only thing that was in me was I think from all that, it put a belief in me that Black people were different than me in some way, which is so stupid, period. But then obviously because I am a Black person, you know what I mean? My dad's Black, like, or mixed. I don't know. Somebody got offended and they were like, "Oh, you're not Black, you're mixed race." Like they corrected me. So let me ask, like, was I wrong in saying that I'm Black? Because I'm okay with saying, like, I don't know, I make mistakes in what I'm saying.
You think about the American explanation of Black. Think about 1/5. I think it is 1/5 of your bloodline. You're Black.
Yeah, you're definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's less than that, Mo.
Yeah.
I bet he like Black.
Well, they said a drop. They said a drop. A drop.
Yeah.
Black.
I'm 48% Nigerian.
I bet you like Black eyed peas and chocolate.
More Black than I am.
Maurice ain't nobody blacker than you, dude.
No, seriously, I'm serious. My grandfather and them, they're German, and they have German and Polish people in my family. So.
And I think that's important too. You know, when people were saying that on the Reddit, I'm like, you know, I approach things. I think we should just be able to talk about stuff where it's like, you know, I'm okay and comfortable enough to say, like, I don't know, is this right or is it wrong? You know, let's talk about it. I think that's, you know, there's so much tension and division because so many people are like, no, it's this way no matter what. And if you even for a second say something else, you know, you're shit, you suck, you're this, you know, where it's like, man, I didn't know, like, you know, like,
that's why
help me understand where I'm going wrong, and let me help you understand where you're going wrong and stuff.
But at this point, doesn't really matter. Okay,
exactly.
What matters is, hey, how you treat your son, and how you feel in your own skin. You know, that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned. So we got to go to this life coach moment. Gina, help me out.
Yes, it is time to redirect. Wait a minute. Regroup and refocus. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do that again.
Do it again.
Oh, it is time to refocus.
Wait.
What time is it?
Redirect, regroup, and refocus.
Here we go.
Jeff coming to you with another 1 minute thought. So y'all, you know, for today's 1 minute thought, we have to put this in perspective. Today is our end of the week, right? So we're not going to see you again until Monday. So what I encourage all of you to do is take a look and see what you've done for everything that you want to do for the week. Did you accomplish those goals? And if you actually did accomplish those goals, what? Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another 1 minute thought. Now, real quick, I just want you all to put this in perspective. So today is our what? It's our Friday on Dope Living TV Live, right? So since it's our Friday, what I encourage you to do is reflect on the rest of your week. Did you accomplish the objectives and the goals that you said you wanted to do? Now, look here, if you did, just go ahead and see. I can't get it. Okay, y'all, listen. Now, for some reason, I sat up here and I tried to record this 1 minute thought 3 times. So, and for some reason, I can't get it. So this is what I'm going to hit y'all with. I'm going to tell y'all to do this. Consistency, okay? Consistency is the key. If it does not work, try it and try it again until it works for you. See, a lot of times y'all don't know what it really is for me to do the back end stuff with this 1 minute thought thing. You know, I got lights, cameras sitting in front of me, all this other jazz and mess, blah, blah, blah. I got a mixer right here to filter out sound. And it all has to work great, right? But see, when everything is working, a lot of times we have to realize it's hard sometimes just to formulate the thought, you know? Sometimes people don't understand. Just to give 1 minute of thoughts to 1 minute of motivation, man, you got to go in the tank sometimes. So normally this doesn't happen, but it happened today. So since this is like my third take to doing this, I'm going to go ahead and put the bloopers in this bad boy because I don't care. But since this is my third take doing this, I want to tell y'all, keep trying until it works. Because what's going to happen when you do it, it's going to click, just like this 1 minute thought did. So remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all, and keep trying until it works. Peace out.
There we
Kicks
go.
it and
There we go.
everything.
That's keeping it real.
Like
Keeping it
Coach.
real.
Yeah, J Real. J
Man,
Real.
we've had a
That's
great
great.
time with talking with our friend, our family member, Mr. Mark Craven. All right, his book will be out tomorrow. Dads, Kiss Your Sons. All right, and I think it's important that everybody gets to it. All right, because it's a lesson in life.
Yes.
He's gone through so much, and to be where he's at right now, and to be able to talk about it, number one, and to share these gems that he shared with us. All right, Mark, there's in your book, after each in each chapter, you tell a story, and then you put science on there.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah. So I my degree, my bachelor's degree is in biology. So I just really love science. I'm a big geek. And, I really thought it would be kind of cool, just to not just say like, okay, just kiss your kids. It's good for you. It's good for them. But to actually include, whatever the lesson might have been. So each chapter kind of has a different, it's a different story, and it does go through my life. So we start off at the beginning, with, just the rough childhood, and then meeting my dad, and then doing the band thing, and then, just all these different things that lead me into fatherhood. But with each one of those lessons, I back a lot of it with science. So I did research on, peer-reviewed articles out of, professional publications, all, neurology and psychology, a lot of developmental psychology, biology. So I explain and I break down a lot of like the just anatomical, neurological systems and what's going on biologically and scientifically when we are, in fact, hugging and kissing our little ones. I already touched on a little bit with physiological synchrony, and just the neuron or the neurochemicals that are released, and the healing that takes place in your body just by doing some of these things. So it's like I said, it just backs it up a little more with research, like heavy science research. And to be honest, like that was difficult. I mean, like I'm reading some pretty thick, heavy stuff, and you want to translate it into the point that you're trying to make, and then also write it in a way that you don't sound like a pretentious dickhead, so that and people actually can relate to it and understand, and you understand it like me. So yeah, it was a challenge, but it was a really good, fun challenge.
And it's a lesson in life, man. And like you said, to back it up with some scientific thoughts, it's just okay, guys, you got to go pick it up. Mark, I'm gonna give you the rest of the show to tell where you can get it at, and it's on you.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys just go to Amazon, just type in "Dads Kiss Your Sons," it'll pop right up. It's really exciting because it's in pre-sale, and in pre-sale it hit the Amazon Hot New Releases in its categories, and it's hit bestseller in its categories, which is really cool. It's pre-sale, so tomorrow it goes live, it goes on sale. Soon as you get it, the Kindle ebook, it's only 99 cents. It'll only be like that for a week, then it'll go back up to $6.99. But if that, I'm really pushing people to go for the ebook. That helps the the rankings, to be honest. But if you're not an ebook person, it's all in the same place. So you go to Amazon, you can get the ebook, it's 99 cents, or you can get the paperback, which is $14.99, or you can get the hardcover and it's $21.99. So it's all right there, right on Amazon. The 99-cent deal is only for a week. It'll shoot back up to $6.99. So take advantage of that. And if you could write a review, that would be incredible. I'm actually creating a course on how to write, self-publish, and even hit the bestseller list in Amazon right now. So if this works this next week, I'll launch the course.
We don't call it if, When?
Yeah. So when? I mean, it's already hit the bestseller list,
Absolutely.
so it's pretty crazy that it's.
There's no
I
if
couldn't
there.
believe that it hit it. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't
So
believe it hit it in pre-sale. I was like, oh,
you
I didn't
couldn't
even know this was possible. But
see. There's that way
That
back in the
doubt.
day now. That
Mm-hmm.
doubt. Okay, come on.
Mm-hmm.
it comes out. It comes out. Yeah, it comes
Deep
out.
breathe, inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
Inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
Go away,
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, that's it.
You got this, Mark, and everybody.
Yeah.
Go on Amazon. Go to Amazon. Dads,
Yeah.
Kiss Your Sons. Man, it's a fantastic book. Again, Mark, if you want to come back on the show, man.
Of course. One. Yeah. I mean,
When you sell that
I
1
love you
million
guys.
copy,
Drop me a
sell
note.
Yeah.
I'm a kick Janet Jackson off so that she can have your spot, man. I mean, you can have her spot.
Oh man, you guys.
We got you, man. We got you. What else is there to be said? All right.
Man, hey, I just want to say it's an amazing story. You shared it with us. It's a story to listen to, and it's a story to learn from. But it's not just a story; it's real life.
right?
So that makes the difference, that somebody actually went through that, and I'm sure there's other people out there. It's just so much that you're given in your story and in your book. It's just truly incredible, Mark.
Thank you. That means a lot. It really does. Like I said, I mean, I put everything into this. I put my whole heart and soul into this book.
You did,
and I put my whole heart and soul into being a dad with my little boy. I mean, I can't explain. I get emotional just thinking about Kai.
Trust
I love that little boy so
I get
much.
it. Trust me.
I can't. I mean, I could write 3,000 of these, and it wouldn't even come close to the love that I feel for my little boy. So I really want men to feel that. I mean, I want, and to be honest, in being sensitive to the times, really, like I don't really necessarily like to say men as much as I like to say dads. So dads, dad doesn't necessarily mean men right now. In the time that we are. And I'm not trying to create any political debates here. I'm just being mindful of, you call yourself a dad, you have a child that you love. I want you to feel this love because there's nothing in the world like it.
And that's how we're going to close the show, man. Okay. There's nothing in the world like that. Okay. Jordan, I love you. Hey, Mark, we love you, man.
Ken, Troy, I love you.
Hi, Daddy loves you.
God, everybody, man, we putting it out there, okay?
Yeah.
This is
Those my boys, and they grown. They good and grown. But when they come around, I get the biggest hugs and the biggest kisses.
Ain't that
hey,
amazing?
and I still say they my babies, and they stand this tall over me.
That's the best feeling in the world. Mark, I thank you for giving us a feel-good story to end.
Yes, yes.
Right?
This is one that this is one that I don't know anybody who put out a story like that.
I was going to say it might go in a category. You might have opened up another lane at the Authors Guild.
He can't submit his book to that because he's gonna win. Okay,
he wants to win. He wants to win.
You should top it all off. Go to Las Vegas.
Gina, you should give him an honorary trophy. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the book is. I'm gonna get the book. I want to read it from beginning to end. I know the story, but I know it's more in that book than he told us.
Look at the science. Look at the science.
Okay. So I do a lot of driving. Is on Audible yet?
Oh no, not yet. I'm going to be working with somebody to do a recording for sure.
Did you just hear how I read your book? You don't want me to do the recordings? I mean,
that's true. You were accenting it really well. I was like, all right, okay. Yeah. No, I noticed that.
It's amazing. Like I said, your family here, dude. So we are so happy for you. We're happy for your journey, because in order to get to something, you got to go through something. You've gone through it, and you're giving us a lot of love, man. And we appreciate you.
Thank you. I mean, I can't thank you enough for having me tonight. Like, it's a special night because it is the eve of the release.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little scared. I mean, I'm just a little. I don't know. I don't know what I'm scared of, to be honest. But I'm just
scared. You scared of that first check coming in. That's what he's scared of. How many zeros are on this?
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Make sure you invite us to the barbecue.
I will.
We're gonna help you push it, man. We're gonna help you push it.
Right.
Yes.
Me, I'm gonna send out. All right.
Thank you, guys.
We
Thank
got
you so much. I do really appreciate it. Seriously.
We appreciate
Thank
you coming through and giving us the story, man. You're joining. All right.
All right, Mike.
All right, y'all. This is it.
Love you guys.
Peace, man.
We're
Back, bro.
We're gonna get out of here, but we will see you guys next week. You'll probably see Mark in a few weeks coming back on, talking about some more stuff. All right, because
I'm a millionaire. I'm rich.
Story, right? But dads, kiss your sons. Right? Go to Amazon, get your book. But the overall message today is dads, and the key word is dads.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know they love you. Let you love them. All right.
We see all the paraphernalia back there.
Oh.
Yeah. How can you not kiss that one?
I know.
We out though, man. It's Dope Living TV Live. We will see you guys Monday. Thank you, Mark.
Peace.
Thank you, guys.